Donny D with Little Joan in the background. Yeah, she's still there. And this is a screenwriter's rant on Lethal Love Triangle. This seems to be Mar Vista Entertainment seems to put out these, I don't want to say low budget, but they feel like hotel movies to me, if you know what I mean. The movies you see in a hotel and almost nowhere else. They're well produced, but they remind me of like romance novels. Not that this is well, it's kind of romance, it's kind of spicy. They're kind of aimed at women. This one, it's a little too weird. I just don't buy it. But anyhow, let's get into it. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, including the Pineys. Book 8 has dropped. Yes, we got books 1 through 8. Roadkill Piney is out. So check it out. It's all about Indian Curse Road. And check out the Webcomic Factory. Check out all my stuff. The links are there. Anyhow, Lethal Love Triangle. See, right away, that title, it's like too on the nose. It's too on the nose. These two women are in a college, and their assignment is to interview a criminal. Okay, that's already weird, but I'm sure it happens. But they don't sound very professional about it because the girl picks this guy because he's hot, right? He's some guy convicted of a murder, and he's very hot, and he proclaims his innocence, and he's like a Ted Bundy type. He's very charming, and the girls interview him, and he says he's innocent, and then the next thing you know, he gets out of prison. Like his lawyer gets him off. Well, the next thing you know, he shows up at the college and starts working the girls, start using his charm. Everybody warns them, stay away from this guy. He's dangerous. Next thing you know, not the blonde, but the brunette sleeps with him. And she loves a bad boy. I mean, it's pretty much the ultimate bad boy, right? So her friend tries to call her and warn her, but I don't know what she's thinking. You think just because the cops cleared a guy that he's totally innocent? Okay. Next thing you know, I don't know if she winds up dead, but they definitely find blood. So I think her friend ends up dead, or they can't find the body. So they're, of course, looking at him, and the next thing you know, he goes after the blonde girl. And I call her the blonde girl because I already forget her name in the movie, and I don't know the actress. So next thing you know, he's stalking her. Yeah, these are the actors here. Savvy Shea, interesting name, Taylor Jabara, and Jacob Taylor are the 3 main love triangle characters. Lethal Love Triangle. Yeah, and see, there's very generic credits too. So it feels like, it feels like a low budget movie, and those credits in particular look incredibly low budget. I mean, that it just looks cheesy, I think. But they may have not wanted to spend money on this movie. The actors look fine. They actually look very competent. I just don't like the entire premise because this blonde girl is very cavalier about the entire process, and then sort of jumps into bed with this guy because she thinks he's hot. And I mean, she couldn't be more stupid, right? I mean, the guy's in prison for murder, whether he's innocent or not. You got to think long and hard before you shack up with a guy like that. But I guess I could see the bad boy thing working for the guy. But, so the first act, they have to do this assignment, and they go interview him, and he sounds so innocent, but, oh, well, he's in jail, he's obviously guilty. I guess they think that way. Seems like if you're taking a class in which part of the assignment is to interview a criminal, you should be incredibly wary of the judicial system and the people in it, especially the criminals. But so anyhow, he gets out, seduces this girl, she disappears in the second act, and then her friend is like trying to find her. He's clearly too touchy-feely and too charming, but brunette just loves it, has sex with him. So next thing you know, she ends up gone, and the blonde girl has to find her, and he stalks her too and tries to charm her. That's where it gets weird and creepy, right? It's weird and creepy that this guy can even get anywhere near her, because the reality is, in real life, she would have more than one friend. She might have a boyfriend. She might have, just guy friends that she would say, oh, this guy's stalking me or whatever, help me out. She would call the cops. She would call her parents. There would be too many people involved for a low budget movie, is what it boils down to. And I don't know who this is. She's either a reporter or a prosecutor, probably a prosecutor. I think she's a prosecutor. So she saw the evidence and thinks he's guilty. But, at the same time, people do get railroaded, even handsome people. But handsome boy here is clearly guilty in this movie because it's called Lethal Love Triangle. It's not called guy who is innocent shacks up with a brunette and gets framed. So, and then this scene in the library, there's scenes in the library earlier on in the movie when they're doing their research, and now here she is back in the library and he's stalking her there. That's another sign to me that it's a low budget outing. Now, in terms of being a hotel movie, where for me the bar is incredibly low. I mean, most of those movies I see, in the hotel, and I think you know what kind of movie I'm talking about. But anyhow, those kinds of movies to me are often poorly produced, poorly directed, and poorly acted. They're just lame ass stuff that, like, you watch 2 minutes of, it just looks terrible. This doesn't look terrible, I'll say. I mean, it looks well acted, it looks competently directed and produced. It's just the entire premise seems dumb, right? Lethal Love Triangle. It implies that the blonde's going to end up in this guy's bed too, and that maybe the other girl isn't dead, and that she's jealous, or whatever. I don't know, but judging by these credits, if they had put slick credits on them, it almost would have made me go, this doesn't look too bad. But because of those credits, I'm like, yeah, they didn't put any of this money. They didn't put real money in this movie, which means, I think it's probably the ending. Ultimately, the ending's going to be, yes, he killed her, and yes, the blonde girl kills him because she has to at the end. That to me is the ending of this movie, which, a blind man from a mile away could probably see, if that's the case. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not the ending. Maybe it's very surprising and awesome. But I don't know. See, it says 2 students become engrossed with their handsome research subject until his true nature puts them both in harm's way. So yeah, he has to be guilty. And not for nothing, those 2 women, they don't look like college students to me. They don't look young enough to be college students. They look a little too old a little too long in the tooth, as they say, to be college students. They look a little too old. They look late 20s, early 30s. I mean, they don't look bad. It's possible to be a college student at that age, but to me, they should look younger. Should look a little younger. But, if I had to pick a hotel movie, this doesn't look too bad, because at least it'll be thrilling, right? At least, hopefully, the thrilling part, I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of running around or car chases or fights or anything like that. I'm just seeing a lot of confrontations. So, that combined with the low budget nature like this, I think they're just shooting the movie like as quickly as they can to get it in the can. That's my vibe. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my vibe on it. So if I saw this in a hotel, I might watch it. Even it didn't cost me anything. Would I go and see it? Probably not. Would I rent it? Probably not, unless somebody who saw it said it was surprisingly good. But I wouldn't want to oversell this movie. So I'm saying, should you watch it? Maybe. I mean, if you like these kinds of movies. I think this is a little bit of women in danger kind of movie. Maybe a movie that ends up on Lifetime kind of thing. But after seeing that Angie Harmon movie, which looks pretty good, this doesn't quite measure up to that. It's eh. But I mean, there is a lot of good in it. I think it's well produced. I think the The cast looks very competent. Seems pretty competent. I just think, I'm not seeing the lines that really sell it. The premise could work, but not like this. I think this brunette, at least in the trailer, the way the trailer's cut, she ends up. There should have been something that allows her to get caught up in this, other than, oh, he's a bad boy and I want to have sex with a bad boy. It's a little too quick. Feels, even in this trailer. Now maybe that's not the case. Maybe weeks go by before she shacks up with him, but I kind of doubt it. Anyhow, that's my evaluation. I'm Tony D. Little Joan, still in the background, sleep. She's been sleeping all day and now she's sleeping again. Anyhow, check us out on Bitchute, Rumble, and Odysee for our more bass takes, and we'll see you tomorrow.